show that talks about Tulsa. People making a difference in the Tulsa community. Special guest interviews spotlighting local businesses. Covering important issues within the community no one else is talking about. The hot topics and more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is World One Development's News.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to World One Development's News You Can Use. We want to thank everyone for either listening on the radio, watching us on Facebook Live, and on www.KBOB899.com, or tuning in to any of the News You Can Use media networks, which are powered by World One Development. We really appreciate that. I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss Damali Wilson.
And I'm Charles Harper. It's Wednesday, a.k.a. Hump Day, June 19th, 2024. And we are live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and Simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Network, powered by World One Development. We are set for an exciting show, you guys. You better call your mama and them and tell them. You can dial in at 918-856-3873 or post your comments on our Facebook Live feed at World One Development.
On today's show, today is Juneteenth.
Yep.
What is the historical meaning of the holiday, and what are you doing today to celebrate?
Yep. We'll also have live in studio Mr. Raymond Doswell of the Greenwood Rising and Kareem Muhammad of the TAF Awards about an upcoming program that he has that's going to be in Oklahoma City and right here in Tulsa. And also coming in a national
results are in, and we're going to talk about it. Birthdays and more.
This is News You Can Use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and Simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Network, powered by World One Development. We'll be right back, y'all. This is News You Can Use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM.
There are many great businesses, programs, and events occurring in our neighborhood, and we felt the community needed to hear about those things. One, so we can support, and two, so we can be informed.
What's going on, family? I'm Charles Harper, Chief Executive Officer of World One Development, which includes Fitting Back In, Edurate Youth and Family Fun Center, 36th Street North Event Center, and Oklahoma Community Sports Coalition. My job, because the world wants to know, is to provide leadership for all aspects of World One Development, with the emphasis on long-term goals, growth, profits, and return on that investment. And I am so excited and I am so elated to be one of the creators of this phenomenal show.
And I'm Damali Wilson, Chief Operating Officer of business operations and establishing policies that promote company culture and vision. I am also in charge of social media for all of the World One Development entities. If you would like to advertise your business or organization on this show or any of our other individual platforms, please inbox me your contact information on Facebook Messenger so we can talk. I am also happy and elated to be one of the creators of this phenomenal show.
Damali,
What's happening?
what's happening this hump day? What's going on?
I know, it is hump day, and I'm so excited that it's hump day.
You know what? If overnight they got toast and shifted us into like a desert, you know what I'm talking about? Like
right?
high heat, no water. I thought I seen a cactus plant out here in Tulsa. It's so warm.
Right.
But nevertheless, man, people are out and about, man. People riding. They got their little tops dropped. They got their locs on. They feeling good. It is good vibes and good energy in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
It absolutely is. And you know what is even better?
What?
Today is actually Juneteenth.
Today
Today
is Juneteenth, the big day.
the big day. So, we celebrated over the weekend. We last week was just crazy because it's been like a whole month of activities that we've been doing in celebration for Juneteenth. But, last weekend was kind of like the big shebang, and we had national artists that were here and, Kiki Wyatt. We had Tamar Braxton, H-Town, plus all of our local bands, a lot of local, artisans and musicians,
yes.
A lot of local creatives. I mean, so we did so much on last week, but today is the actual day, and so we wanted to just take a couple of seconds just to give you guys the history, because we always want to make sure that we are educating. That's what this show is all about.
Right.
It's educating and letting you guys not only know about the parties, but what we are doing and why we are partying, because we party with a purpose. Right?
Hold on, before we party with a purpose.
Yes.
Because you shout out the people.
Yes.
And I love the people too, Damali.
You do love the people.
But I want to shout out something that's near and dear to my heart.
Oh, what is that?
Food. See, the food trucks.
Lord help us.
No,
all.
hold on. You don't understand. When I saw King Arthur and Wonder J's and the barbecue stands.
You were in food heaven.
I just want to shout out the food truck people to know from the bottom of my heart how I feel. I'm up 10 pounds.
Right.
But other than that, shout out to those vendors with those food trucks.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm back focused.
All right, back focus. Commemorating in 1865 when Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, right, and announced the freedom of enslaved Africans. That is what this day is all about.
Right.
As we all know, in 2021, it actually became a national holiday,
yes.
a federal holiday. And so now there's a lot of people that are getting off of work and that are off work today. But what we want you guys to understand, do something that honors this day,
yes.
right? Take your children to the library. We have a guest that's going to be on a little bit later in the show that actually runs a museum.
Right.
Take your kids to the museum. Learn some history. Don't let it just be about, oh, I'm just taking off today. Let folks, do something that is going to enlighten you about the struggle and where we came from and what we're doing, past, present, and future.
Yeah, because a lot of times people just take a day off. It's a holiday. You just off to stay at home and sleep.
Right.
But, Juneteenth is one of those ones that we actually really celebrate because it's a big thing. And we also want to switch over to, a situation with Lieutenant Marcus Harper.
Yes.
Down there at the courthouse.
Yes.
That was some heavyweight stuff. Something that had been going on for like 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah,
so for those of you who don't know, in our community, there is a lieutenant, and we talk about community policing all the time. And, there are certain individuals in our community that, just are really efficient at their job, and they do a great job of interacting with community.
Right.
So even the negative connotations that you get with police and the African-American community, they are actually standing in the gap. And Lieutenant Marcus Harper is actually absolutely one of those individuals. But if you had not heard, he had 4 years ago, he was arrested and charged for concealing information or providing false statements.
Right.
And so this has been an ongoing thing that, and anybody who's been involved in the justice system know that, court, all of these hearings and stuff, they go on for a really long time. But he actually started his trial on last Tuesday. And was in trial all last week, and on Friday the judge actually came back with a not guilty verdict. And I'm sure that was a sigh of relief for him and his family, because that, I'm sure, has been very traumatic, going through that entire experience. I can't imagine being a law enforcement officer for almost 30 years. Yes. And then now you find yourself on the other side of the law. You know what I'm saying? I cannot imagine that, and especially somebody with a stellar career. And so we want to just say congratulations to Marcus Harper for standing strong. He didn't waver. He always proclaimed that he was innocent, and he believed that the system would do what it was supposed to do.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is we want our system, because the bottom line, we just civilians.
Yes.
Every now and then it's a little scuffle happen. Mm-hmm. Every now and then somebody drink a little too much. Things happen. Right. But what I thought about this, Damali, is your expectation that the court is what tries to get it right.
Yeah.
And I think what just hit me is it just seems like, man, the court system kind of let them down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because after the judge did the ruling, he said there was like absolutely nothing Like, he almost was like, I don't even know why we're here.
Right.
And it's just tough when you have to go through something like that. It affects your family.
Yeah.
It affects your finances. It affects your mental health.
Yeah.
And sometimes you could possibly never be the same.
Right.
But I'm glad they still got it right.
Yeah.
Because it'd been worse if they got it wrong.
Correct.
So let's stand with him, community, as he just get his footing back and he get back to the things he normally do. And, we just continue to stand with him. So
and I will say
congratulations.
this, another way that you guys can stand for him is he has a GoFundMe, because this has been a very costly process for him.
Yes.
And so, he still has attorney fees that he needs to take care of. And so let's stand behind him. If you can only give $20, $5, all of those $5, $20, $15, whatever you can give, those things add up. Now, if you got $100,000 you want to, hey, drop it on the brother.
It sounds like that when you talk to an attorney, to be honest with you.
Exactly. So, but he has a GoFundMe. So it's Marcus Harper, Justice for Marcus Harper, I believe is what it is. But we'll post that on our social media later today. And also you can Cash App him at $Marcus Harper.
Just like that.
Go back to work.
We don't know yet. I have not heard. I believe that that is what is planned.
That's what he
is
said
that
is
he
his
will be
goal.
going back, but he has not done that as well.
Everything.
I think after a while you just need to woo-side.
Everything's a process too.
Get your mental back together.
Like
so.
in lighter news and better news,
Yes.
Rudisill Library groundbreaking happened on this Friday, a $21.2 million project.
Yes.
On Greenwood.
Yes.
Damali, I know you're excited. You smiling now. You look like you was a book reader from the beginning, but this is good stuff.
I did. So it was funny that when I was a kid, my mom would be like, okay, when I would get in trouble for something, which was very rare, but when I got in trouble for something, my punishment would be go to your room. It's like, yes, I get to go and read books. And then my mom would come in and see me kick back reading a book, and she's like, go outside. And I'm like, oh, man.
It's trying to find the right punishment for you.
Right. So, to be able to have a new library, state-of-the-art library right on Greenwood in the heart of North Tulsa is amazing. I'm so excited, but my favorite thing that I'm really most excited about is the genealogy.
Yes.
The genealogy lab or center that they're going to have to be able to allow citizens in North Tulsa to be able to trace their roots. I am so excited about that, because a lot of people that are in community, some folks don't even know if they are descendants, right, of the 1921 race massacre, or if you are a descendant of a freedman,
Right.
Creek or what, no matter which tribe, if you are a freedman, and so to be able to, have that resource available in our community, I think is going to be huge, and it's going to, allow us the opportunity to be able to know where we came from and be able to share our history a lot better.
Yeah, so shout out to Rudisill Library.
Yes.
Shout out to that upgrade, man. I saw Senator Matthews out there. The city councilwoman was out
Yeah.
there. The mayor was out there. The developers, Nabos, and all of them. So it's just good to see good energy with good development going on in our community. So they're going to break ground in September.
Yes.
And in 2026, they're going to open that bad boy up. It's going to be overlooking
cannot
downtown.
wait.
I'm going to be the first one in there with my shades
Are
on.
you going to be in there reading?
I'm going to be in there reading for a little while.
No, you hoping they have
I'm going to be in
food.
there reading. Yeah, I am hoping for the grand opening at least. But anyway, congratulations on getting that done, because so many times we find a way not to get it done.
So another thing that happened over the weekend is we talked about, and I think we told you guys about this last week, but First Repair Reparations Retreat took place right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Robin Ruth Simmons of Evanston, Illinois, was actually here with about 50 other leaders from all across the country to talk about, first of all, to stand with Tulsa, as far as reparations and reparative justice for what happened in the 1921 race massacre, but then to also be a part of and feel the energy of Juneteenth. And what that, felt like and what that looked like. I think they got more than they bargained for.
I think they felt all the energy
they felt the smoke.
Because, man, Greenwood was loaded. It was good vibes. It was good energy. But if you do not know Robin Ruth Simmons, we're going to post it. Look her up. She's the first person, and she's a young sister out of Evanston, Illinois, that actually got reparations. She's been getting reparations for about 5 years. We've been down there for 4 years. And when we talked to the mayor, he's like, we're going to give him $10 million. I'm like, man, can you come to Tulsa?
Okay, right. Talk to our
trying to figure that part out, but it was great to have them here for their very, very first retreat. Right, they're gonna be taking a retreat all over the country. But guess what they said? They got to come back to Tulsa one more time. Yes. So shout out to Tulsa for being a welcoming committee and all of that. Good stuff.
So our next announcement, we want to say congratulations to the NBA national champions, the Boston.
Why do you and JB keep saying national champions like these people was in college? It is not national champions. It's NBA.
It's
ain't
NBA.
no that. Yeah, it's the NBA.
They're the champions of the nation.
No, NCAA. When you say national championship, that's
Okay,
college.
well, whatever. He's got to be technical. They're the champs. Okay,
the
how about
NBA.
that?
That's
okay.
the highest level.
Didn't
That's
I
the
say
professionals.
NBA first?
No, you said
Y'all,
national.
Ain't that what I said? Read my paper. NBA.
I ain't messing with you today. It's hump day. We just trying to get over that. Shout out to
winners.
JB.
Yes,
They
they're the
winners.
winners.
They're the
What
winners.
difference does it make? Okay, 4 games to 1. How about that?
No,
Great job.
it was
Yeah.
a great job. It was
Yeah.
a great job. Shout out.
Yeah.
I was happy for Jason Tatum.
Yes.
Because so many people get close. Because they've been right there on the cusp of it for like 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, for you that was going for Boston, I don't know why, because we next door to Dallas.
Right.
You know what I mean? We could have went down there to watch a game, but we can't get. I've never even been to Boston.
I haven't.
Now, I
either.
love
Have you been to
people.
Boston, JB?
JB
Close.
been everywhere.
Close. Not,
Who has
see,
been to Boston?
I don't
Somebody
know.
called in that's been
Yeah.
to Boston.
One of our guests has been to Boston.
Yeah,
You
we're
been
going
to
to talk
Boston?
about Boston a little bit.
Oh, Bobby said. Uncle Bobby said I've been to Boston.
All over the world.
It's cold. Oh, well, that's why I ain't been. Okay, that sums it up right there. Okay, I ain't coming to Boston, y'all. All right. Now, before we get started, also, I wanted to, we wanted to send out prayers to the family, friends, and fans of baseball legend Willie Mays.
Man, that's
I don't
a
know
tough
if you
one.
guys heard about this, but he passed away on yesterday at the ripe age of 93 years old.
Man, he got his 3 scores plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 3. He did all right.
He did all
But
right.
he was a great one.
Yes, he was a great one. And so that's what you guys can do today. So while you're off from work, go look up at Willie Mays and see what he did and look at his history and his career.
At the
That'll give you
library.
something to do. At the library.
At the
Come
library,
on.
just like
Tie it
that.
all together.
Yeah,
All
his
right?
funeral service will be on Monday, June 24th. No, that's somebody else.
Right. No, so we also have, we want to send out prayers because I actually lost my uncle.
Sorry to hear that,
Mr.
Damali.
John Irons, and to cancer. He was 77 years old. So he didn't quite make it to Willie Mays, but he got up
He got
there.
his 3 scores plus 10 plus 7.
Right, and so there's going to be a public viewing on June 22nd, which is going to be on Saturday at Jack's Memorial Chapel, or Memory Chapel, I'm sorry. And then the funeral services are going to be on June 24th, which is Monday, at Metropolitan Baptist Church. And then the repast will take place at the 36th Street North Event Center.
First, Damali, I'm sorry to hear that. Because if
Thank
it's your
you.
uncle, it's all of our uncles.
That's right.
So we're
Our
going to
shared
stand with
family.
you. We're going to support you. And I just don't like cancer at
I know.
all.
It's taking
That's one
taking
thing
people
I'm
out.
hopeful that we can get a cure for. Let's put all our money toward that. But
Yes.
sorry for your loss, that's for sure.
Yes. Thank you so much. All right, so do we want to hit the Black History trivia question?
Get
Are we
your
ready?
thinking caps on. Don't start Googling. I'm going to come back and give some shout outs. I see y'all on the live. Man, Damali, we got 2.6 thousand people on.
Hey, y'all
Must
people.
be
We
here for
see y'all.
something.
Yeah.
We're going to get to it. Okay, let's get on with our Black History trivia.
Black History trivia question. What was the first legislation to recognize Juneteenth Independence Day? You start laughing already. Okay, no, let me start again. The first legislation to recognize Juneteenth Independence Day was introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives by who? Was it A, Barbara Rose Collins, B, Abraham Lincoln, C, Lula Briggs, or D, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
JB Smooth, it's on you, man.
I'm going to go with B, Abraham Lincoln.
You're going to go with B. JB says B. What do you got? You want me to read it again?
No, I think I might be wrong, but I just know Oprah. I know
How are you
Abraham
gonna
Lincoln was
start
in there.
How are you going to start it with, I think I might be wrong?
I know
You need to say it with your chest and say it with
I'm
confidence.
just saying I know Abraham Lincoln had something to do with it.
So you
I'm
gonna
not
go
sure
with
if he
JB?
run it. No, I'm not going with JB. Hold on, give me a minute.
Man, you
Man,
better
he's
go
the
with JB.
president.
You 4 in a row.
No, if he's the president, he couldn't have brought it to the house.
So what are you
Both.
thinking?
So, hey, y'all help me on the live. Don't y'all be sitting over there Googling and act like I'm out here by myself. I
Right.
see y'all on here. Shout out to favorite little cousin April. She's
Hey,
on.
cousin.
Miss
What's happening?
Maybell Wallace
Hey,
over
Miss
at Theater
Maybell.
North is on. We have Mr. Sharmon. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Teresa, my
Hey,
sister,
sister.
your sister. Mr. Gregory. Man, we got a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm going to come
Charles,
back.
Charles is stalling.
I'm
because
trying
he
to
doesn't know the
stall.
answer.
I'm trying to download the answer. I'm going with, man, I want to go to, man, it wasn't Abraham Lincoln. Ooh, and it wasn't Martin Luther King Jr. Man, I know it's A or C.
Well, which one? You got to pick one. You can't say. Just go on ahead.
No, look, I'm going to
Okay.
say this is my rationale. My
Nuh-uh.
answer is A or C,
Okay.
but when you take the ACT, if you don't know the answer,
Mm-hmm.
they say you're supposed to go with C if you don't
Okay.
know. But I don't think C is. I'm going with A.
Jesus Christ.
I
Okay.
know.
He done wore me out.
Y'all don't know what I go through. Look,
I know,
I'm doing better than the people on the live. They not saying nothing.
Yeah, ain't nobody saying nothing.
Suzette, welcome. Rodney Gray, world champions.
Gray, yeah.
Welcome to the show. You right, world champions. He down there in that East Coast area. He excited.
Miss Maybell said happy Juneteenth. Thank you, Miss Maybell. Same to you.
Day. It's a great day. We have special guests, and we are so excited. We're going to give y'all this break to get your answer in to us. Damali's going to read it one more time. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with our special guest.
Okay, so Black History Trivia question one more time. The first legislation to recognize Juneteenth Independence Day was introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives by who? Was it A, Barbara Rose Collins, B, Abraham Lincoln, C, Lula Briggs, or D, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Just like that.
All right, we're going to
Coming
take a
up
break.
next, we got special guest Dr. Raymond Doswell. Raymond.
Yeah.
Raymond, say it with your chest. I was still trying to think about the answer to the question. I'm going to get it right. This KBOB 89.9 FM. World One Development News. You can use Charles and Damali. We'll be right back, y'all. Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the event center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
This is news you can use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM. Charles and Damali.
Yes.
And we are back.
And we are back. All right, so we have some special guests in the studio. We're going to start with our first guest, Dr. Raymond Doswell. He is actually the executive director over at Greenwood Rising. And so we are, want you guys to put your hands together and welcome our special guest, Dr. Doswell. How are you today?
I'm honored to be here with you all.
Yes,
welcome
we're excited
to the show. How has 2024 been for you?
2024 has been busy and flying by. I swear, and you all were talking about Juneteenth. We've been rolling all year, but rolling since the motorcycle rally.
Yes.
And all the activities, with the anniversary of the race massacre, but then of course Juneteenth, and it's a busy time for us. And usually, in my short time here, May through July is our busy season.
Mm-hmm,
just like that. It seemed like, for me, Damali, it's like Happy New Year, now it's Juneteenth. I mean, it literally seemed... I didn't get a chance to even get my little goals already now.
I know. It's just kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy.
So we got a lot of people on. So for whatever reason, if people don't know who you are, Dr. Raymond, tell them just a little bit about yourself, and then we'll jump into what you do.
Well, I'm a native of East St. Louis, Illinois.
East St. Louis?
East St. Louis, yes.
So the East Boogie, as they call it.
There you go.
Yes.
And but been here in Tulsa since last January, having spent over 25 years in Kansas City at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, where I was vice president and curator, but came here to be executive director, and we've been, like I said, rolling ever since. So Greenwood Rising continues to welcome lots of visitors from all around the country, and since it opened in 2021, has welcomed well over 100,000 visitors.
Wow, that is awesome. Let me ask you this. Had you been to Tulsa a few times prior to taking this job and moving here? Or?
Well, just visiting for the interviews, and it was my first time in Tulsa, and has been intrigued by it. And coming from East St. Louis, East St. Louis suffered a race massacre as well. So there's an affinity for that part of the history. And I find Tulsa to be kind of Kansas City light in a way.
Yeah.
It's very similar people, very similar kind of vibe in some respects, but certainly different. And it's been very interesting, and I think it's been very rewarding work. This is a tough history that we deal with, but people are very interested in learning about it. and we get visitors from all over the world who are very interested in this. I just came from the History Center, and we're open until just 3 o'clock today for Juneteenth.
Okay.
So folks can come down, and it's air conditioned, so you can avoid the heat.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
But we have visitors in from Armenia.
Wow.
Judges from Armenia who are learning about the history. You might think, well, I had to explain Juneteenth to them and understanding that. You might say, well, what are the parallels there? But what they told me was that, in 1915, they dealt with a genocide and just getting the country's officials to just recognize that. And because it's too inconvenient to talk about that history back home and just getting folks to recognize it. And, here in Oklahoma and other places in America, we're dealing with people trying to fight against the truth about history. So I said, we're dealing with the same things. And so it was very interesting. So folks are very interested in this history and making the connection.
So let me ask you this. Did you know about the 1921 race massacre that took place here in Tulsa before you actually interviewed for the job?
I did. And back in Kansas City, I was part of a group called Black History Study Group, and we actually put a program together to watch a documentary about it. But I admit, I did not know, and I knew about it before then, but I did not know the intensity of the details of the history. And watching that documentary, and of course, everyone's fascinated by the use of airplanes and the massacre and all this other stuff. Right. And just the intenseness of it was something that I just remember that meeting, we were like, our jaws were like on the floor, and we were like, oh my God, there was just a palpable tension in learning about the history. So, I'm learning more and more every day as I work in this history. And there are parallels, not so much to the baseball history, but there's similar folks migrating here, looking for a better way of life. The baseball teams kind of developed out of that in the different cities that they went to. And so there are those parallels, but just getting to understand, especially the connection to the Native history here and all that, it's been fascinating.
Yes.
Man, when you sit there, I just want to ask this, coming, St. Louis, the east side, and then Kansas City for a little bit. But when you do know the history of Greenwood, and so many people come here, and we're not too far removed from the centennial when we commemorated that. And so to kind of be the person that when people come from all over the world, it's on you to present to them what happened here, to make sure they have a good understanding. How does that feel with you, like Armenian and different people, and they look into you and your vision and your thought, tell them the story? How is that?
It's something that we take a lot of pride in at the history, and we realize too that we're scratching the surface on the history. We're just kind of getting them an introduction and hope that sparks something in them to want to learn more. But more importantly, when they go back home, to take what they've learned and then maybe investigate what's happening in their own home communities, especially for folks around the country who come from places like St. Louis or New York City or Atlanta, where similar things happen, Chicago, and dig deeper into that history. And more importantly, we always encourage all the visitors to make a commitment to reconciliation and social justice.
I like that.
And so they're empowered when they leave.
Right. So you are on the show today because you guys are doing some amazing things over at the History Center. And so can you share with our listeners some of the things that you guys have going on, some of the programming that you guys have going on that they might be interested in?
Well, we're working towards doing a lot more public programming, and I think we'll have more announcements about that where folks can come in and learn more than just coming through the History Center. But we do want to remind folks, and maybe it's been a while since you came in, and maybe you came during the centennial and things like that. Come back. Your young people are already coming. We welcome, because it's required for 8th graders to come through in Tulsa Public Schools. So last year that meant about close to 1,500 students coming through, and that's something we're really proud of. And so they're coming through and they're learning the history. Another important group, I mentioned the international visitors, but another important group, the Tulsa Police Academy.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
All new recruits are required to come through the History Center.
Wow.
And so that's an initiative that the outgoing chief has made, and so they make a point to showcase certain things to those recruits, like the fact that we have a role with the Ku Klux Klan from 1920 Tulsa, and there's police officers on that role.
Wow.
And they make a point to point that out. This is not what we want. And so we have groups like that coming through. And we just encourage people, folks are planning their family reunions and other things. They can always make a request to get, for groups, we like to do guided tours. But for the most part, folks can come through, guide themselves, read all the things, but they can make group reservations through our events at Greenwood Rising email address, and we want to be able to guide you through and give you a good time. And then, of course, there are other options too in the neighborhood, of course, to get walking tours and everything else.
Sure.
That's amazing, Damali.
I know, right?
You know, because man, it's only how long has the Greenwood Rising been there?
Just since 21.
Since 21.
Yeah.
You know, but to have that, and it seems like every time I drive by, I see a group outside. So let me ask you: are you satisfied, encouraged about the attendance right now? You're trying to get more? Is it a little slow? Kind of how do you feel that it's going?
We always want more, but I say, well, my staff might say otherwise.
Right.
But, you know, I'll admit this is a busy season. So, you know, when May starts, I mean, it's always busier with the family reunions, with the tour groups and everything else, and it does kind of level off until we get to the school year. And but then we've got school kids in almost every day from October through March. And another good thing, and I mentioned Tulsa Public Schools, Owasso and Jinx are also trying to get their kids
awesome.
in.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, you know, we're going to wrap up this session, but can you let folks know how they can follow the History Center, where they can see you on social media, if you have a website, all of that? How do we follow you?
So the History Center Greenwood Rising is on Facebook and on Instagram. And they can go to our website at www.greenwoodrising.org and learn about what's happening, different events, and then, of course, come on down and see us.
Let me do some quick shout-outs, Damali, if I can.
Sure.
Arkansas is in the building. Zandra Hall, welcome to the show. Jenny, I seen her.
Yes.
Welcome to the show. Mr. Energizer, down there right by Little Rock, Arkansas, down there in the J-Bone Lounge. And he said, what's the Black History? See,
I'll
you
say
got to
it
get
again
on the
here in
show.
a second.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Michael Brewer is on. Welcome to the show. Lunzel King, welcome to the show. Teresa Elliott said, that's a great idea for Tulsa police recruits to go over. I think that's great.
That is awesome.
But I want to say thank you for coming to Tulsa. Thank you for doing a great job. Thank you for coming on our show.
Yes.
And before you leave, we got a lot of people on locally, nationally, and internationally. Tell them when they come to Greenwood Rising, what can they expect?
They can expect the truth and learning the history and the truth about Greenwood and what we can do to make a better world.
And just like that, man, y'all heard it from him,
Yes.
him himself.
Okay.
Dr. Raymond came in. We appreciate him so much. We're going to take a real quick break. We got another special guest live in studio. This is KBOB 89.9 FM, World One Development News You Can Use. Charles and Damali. Hey, we getting down, y'all.
We'll be right back. The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the event center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
Juice Radio Show and KBOB 89.9 would like to say thank you to all of our listeners and sponsors who donate to help keep our media program alive. Reaching the community, the Juice Radio Network continues to expand as influencers in the community of North Tulsa and beyond, but can't do that without your help. That's why it's important that we as a community continue to support the Juice Radio Show and keep 89.9 on the air. The community not only deserves this service, but needs this service. Let's continue to support the mission and giving a voice to the voiceless and donate to the Juice Radio Show. The Juice Radio Show is a nonprofit 501c3 powered by KBOB 89.9 and Eden Media Services, operating solely off the gifts, donations, and contributions made by listeners like yourself. All donations made to the Juice Radio Show are tax deductible and can be sent to 1216 North Lansing Avenue, Suite D, Tulsa, Oklahoma 74106. We appreciate your continued support and thanks for listening to KBOB 89.9 FM.
KBOB 89.9 FM, World One Development News You Can Use. Charles and Damali, and we are back.
We are back. You know, I love having all the different people coming into the studio because you just learn so many things that you did not know.
Right.
You know, and we get to share with our audience, you know, so many different things that, you know, we always say that there are great things happening in North Tulsa, you know, so this is just another example.
Just like that.
Yes.
Man, you got to get now. But like, man, the Greenwood Rising, they're doing some big things over there, man.
Big
I didn't know it was that many people, 100,000. Man, a lot of people. That's a whole city.
It'd be too many people.
In a good size city. But we got another special guest.
Yes.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yes.
We glad that he was rolling. They said, man, that's a very cool gentleman rolling down a Turner Turnpike. I said, I bet you I know exactly who that is. It's none other than the one and only Kareem Muhammad. He's live in studio right here on KBOB 89.9 FM. Kareem, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Yeah, so for Kareem is actually the executive director, right, and founder of TAF Awards. And so we want to talk about that a little bit, but for the people who don't know who you are, give them a little snippet of who Kareem Muhammad is.
Who I am, to give you a small anecdote.
Yes, an antidote. I like
Give
that.
us a little bit.
Born and raised in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Okay.
Attended Langston University.
Okay.
AOU in the house?
Yes, from that point on, I finished my studies at Oklahoma State University. So go Pokes.
Just like that. How long? What years were you at Langston?
96 to 97. I'm then 96.
I was there 96 to 2000.
Okay.
He was cool, man. He already had the beard, man. It was already on the way. I'm trying to tell you what's going on. We appreciate you coming in and appreciate your work because when you look at this, it is the Grammys. It is the Emmys. It is top level. And me and Damali been trying our best to just get there. Go ahead, Damali. I'm trying not to get all out of order.
So the TAF Award stands for Teachers Appreciation Foundation.
Right.
Where did that come from?
The mustard seed started from my mom. She taught first grade for over 40 years.
Oh, wow.
Man.
So she's the inspiration behind now, I can humbly say, this gargantuous movement.
Yes. 30 years?
40
years. 40 years. Oh, my God.
I'm going to make you sound, four decades.
Okay.
In there. So, but that was the inspiration behind it, your mom. It's a lot of, it's amazing how most of the time, what encourages most people is mom.
Right.
You know, so you know he in it.
Yeah,
if the inspiration came from mom.
And I want to read this little snippet. It says, of course, you know, I went and did my research and pulled some stuff. I always do. But anyway, I love this. It says, Muhammad wanted to start a foundation that honors school teachers, custodians, school bus drivers, cafeteria workers, and everyone involved in the school system as a whole. You know, a lot of times those people are the people that we forget about, you know, because, you know, you don't see them as, you know, folks that need to be recognized. So the fact that you recognize, you know, these individuals, but then you go a step further than that, you know, in recent years. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, but what I wanted to do something that was unprecedented.
Right.
Not necessarily inventing a new wheel, but putting my own spin on it.
Yes.
Right.
And what I mean by that, excuse me, is that when I came up with the idea to have the TAF Awards, which is the Grammys, for dignitaries, educators, and support staff, as you notice, I say that emphatically.
Yes.
And it's because they are the unsung heroes.
Right.
Right? So what I do, I creatively seek out people that's not necessarily looking to get a trophy.
Right.
Or looking to get, because I've actually had people turn me away. They said, no, well, we love what you're doing, Miss Muhammad, but I don't do this to be recognized.
Yeah.
I don't want to be
deep.
on that stage.
The mother, that's deep.
That is
You
deep.
know?
Yeah.
And these is educators, and when I say educators, I'm also including that custodian, that school bus driver, not just a colloquial classroom teacher.
Sure.
Right.
I'm talking about everybody. When you hear me reverberate, educators.
Right.
Yeah.
So, without getting too loquacious about it, because I have a deep passion for what I do,
Right.
I wanted to just stick to something that kept people, and this may sound a little oxymoron, but I wanted to keep people laughing, crying. I want you to be mad at me.
Right.
Let me know that you care about what's going on.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
I want you to use your vitriol to say, you should have went left. I told you to go left. I went left. I want you to go 2 more lefts.
Right.
So that let
Right.
me know you have a passion as well for
Right.
what's going on.
Right.
And then we naturally seek perfection.
Right.
You know, to do what we do to honor these educators on this particular platform. And June 9th, we
Yes.
turned 10 years old.
June
Oh,
9th,
wow.
10
10 years old.
Hey,
Yeah, congratulations
on that
Yeah.
because that means commitment. Damali
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
in there. Sacrifice is in there amongst a lot of other things. Now, is this only in Oklahoma?
No, sir. When you see the crowd, the audience, if you will, that we put up on our social media platforms,
Right.
it's people from all over the country.
Wow.
We have footprints in Uganda, Africa. I believe
Where
you guys
we're
is
going,
going
On
to
our way in a
Yes.
few weeks.
We have footprints in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
Kansas. The gentleman said St. Louis. I
Wow.
mean, the list can go on and on and on over the last 10 years. So when you see people in the rooms, it's people from all over the world.
Yeah.
It's not just
Are you
Oklahoma.
in the UK?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
You just said it, though.
You said it.
I
You
just
just
said it, so
Name
it's going to be
it.
there.
Name it. He can claim it.
Okay.
Now. UK, we
Yeah.
on the way, going
Yeah.
to come to see the king. and
Right.
the queen.
I love it.
Let's do this and just draw down on the details of it. When is it? How do you get involved? Can you still get a ticket?